The UT String Project is something that's hard to describe. It's hard to tell exactly what it is unless you're in it. Every Saturday, this building is filled with an incredible amount of energy and happiness, and I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say a lot of joyful learning. The UT String Project is a teacher training program. It's a community of learners and music makers. It's a lot of things. This was the brainstorm of Albert Gillis. There was a lack of string players after World War II in the United States. Who's going to fill up school programs? Who's going to fill up symphony orchestras? There were decades when music aptitude tests were given to students to find, are you going to be successful in music? We know now that any child can be successful in music. We don't make a decision for a 5-year-old that can't clap a steady beat that's it for you. You're finished. Let's make the University of Texas the hub of string education. This is where it started, right here.
The main objective of UT String Project is to provide a platform for up-and-coming string teachers to sort of have an avenue to learn how to teach. There's also this very obvious secondary objective of creating this community of young string players and creating an environment that these students are getting very, very high quality lessons and group classes. 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds learning an instrument for the first time, all the way up through graduation, and that students are able to progress through the program for that entire time.
When I first came to the UT String Project in 2003, I had not taught children as young as 5. And one of my first class assignments was the baby cello class. And I was very intimidated and quite nervous about it now thinking back.
What they're doing is they're learning how to follow directions, they're learning how to work together, learning how to play together, how to make good sounds together. You start from the very beginning, and then those traits are going to be carrying those students for the rest of their lives.
The early childhood program is so important because it lays that foundation of pitch, of rhythm, and really sets them up. So after they're done with the ECE or Stepping Stone class, then they can go on to our junior cadets, and they already have all of those songs, and their sense of intonation is there and rhythm is there.
You have the preschool kids that are learning to just like do rhythms. Then you have the little twinklers that are learning to hold. From the time they're 3 or 4 years old, they see the next level.
I saw these children from 5 to 15, 16, 17 years of age on a weekly basis, and it was terribly rewarding, and it was amazing, really, to see them grow as people, not just as cellists, but as people.
I think that they have a huge advantage. I mean, they just soak up the information, and it's just surprising how much they can learn so quickly and then hold on to that knowledge for long periods of time.
It's kind of a mosaic of organized energy where you've got 250, 75, up to 300 kids.
The parents are heavily involved. It's not just a teacher and student, it's teacher, student, parent. And without that camaraderie, without that teamwork, then this couldn't work.
I knew from way before I even had kids that I wanted to start them in music early because I know how important it is for them. I think the String Project is very welcoming. Whatever skill level you're at, they meet you there. It's sort of a smooth progression. Like there are some kids that move a little slower than others and some that go a little faster, and you'll see, okay, these kids are in orchestra now and some kids are still back in BVEB, but that's okay, right? Because everybody learns at a different pace. And it's totally okay, and there was never any sort of stress.
We put our kids in basketball, we put them in soccer, we put them in chess club, taekwondo, fencing, but String Project just stuck. It was something that, as a family, we just enjoyed the routine of coming back every Saturday. We loved the teachers, these young, dynamic graduate students from the School of Music who were so talented, and we just knew that our kids were lucky to be around people of that quality.
There are times in this program where people feel like they're just being thrown in to the situation, and they are.
When I joined the UT String Project, I think I thought I knew how to teach.
When you join String Project as a teacher, it doesn't take you very long to figure out that this is something special. This was the first program that was really centered on training string teachers, and it grew to be a very large community-based program.
Mr. Gillis was thinking, he came here, so that in 1948, he had this idea that I want to take young kids and train them from early on as they learn all their life skills, that music would be a part of it. But at the same time, there would be college kids, they would be learning how to guide, and then the faculty at UT would be supervising the student teachers, and so they would form this continuum of music and education and good people.
The students that come into this program are part of the mosaic that makes it work. They bring their life experience, their strengths into this.
You get a chance to develop and oversee and contribute to curriculum, as you will do in the real world.
We like to play to those strengths, why not? So if we have someone who's a violist and also a percussionist, let's offer a world music class and work on rhythm with percussion.
I know that if I told Dr. Scott, hey, I want to teach this piece by a Filipino composer, she'll be like, do it, just go for it.
There's never been a set curriculum for a string project. Whatever group of teachers is here at that time, the personal interactions of those teachers, their experiences, because they're coming from major conservatories, they're coming from other universities, so they have their ideas. That kind of group synergy, that creates a new kind of pedagogical approach, so that the evolution keeps going. And that's because the supervisors are willing not to be didactic. Here's a group of people that are all talented, you let them create.
String Project enhanced every facet of my being a teacher.
I just knew this was the String Project. I knew this is the place that you got to come study if you want to learn how to teach.
There's no other program that offers what String Project does on the scale that it does. It doesn't offer as many varied opportunities like eclectic styles and music theory and sectionals and lessons and orchestra classes and group classes and performance opportunities on this, beautiful stage at UT.
As a String Project teacher, you have your own students that you're responsible for.
You will teach a 5-year-old, you will teach a 9-year-old, you will teach a 16-year-old, and you will teach maybe an 18-year-old.
You are getting hands-on pedagogical instruction.
When I picked up a violin for the first time at the age of 9, under the direction of Albert Gillis, I did not anticipate what a profound impact this simple action would on my future.
I remember my first class teacher, I believe, was Miss Howell, and there would be about 6 or 7 of us in the class. I remember exactly which room in the old music building it was. They were all very kind and supportive, and they knew what they were doing. I mean, I think they must have been trained specifically just for this sort of project, perhaps.
I love my job because I get to go and observe all the teachers, and in every single classroom, someone is having an aha or a light bulb moment.
You have opportunities to conduct, teach music theory, organize preschool classes, deal with parents, which is huge, and leadership. There's a sense of felt safety that builds people's confidence, gives them self-efficacy, self-worth.
It was just more than I had ever done before. It was bigger than anything I had done before. It's a huge program. So to be part of that was pretty special.
The music theory classes, which were to me very valuable but not nearly as enjoyable as playing the violin, helped me greatly in everything I've done with music since. I don't know that I actually I don't know what would have happened if I had not had the string project in my background. It was a very formative thing for me.
I had exceptional teachers in the string project who I think were a major part of the foundation of my musical experience as a young person. Very, very strong instruction and a lot of encouragement.
They carry that with them, and they become incredible advocates and stewards for string teaching and for children to experience music.
If you come to UT and you get your applied degree in viola performance and you teach in the string project, you've had 4 years of teacher training. It's like a totally different degree.
To have all of this as a kind of a one-stop shopping training experience is unique.
I just thought the possibilities were endless.
You can't talk about the UT String Project without talking about Phyllis Young. Phyllis Young was a personality, a presence, a power. Anyone whose hands touched the UT String Project, they were influenced by her.
The first time I met Phyllis Young was kind of legendary because she had been writing letters back and forth to me about the string project and how that worked. And she always signed it Phyllis at the bottom. She never wrote Mrs. Young. And so I get here my very first day and I knock on her door and she opened the door and she was bigger than life, anybody that knew her. And I said, "Phyllis, I'm Carolyn." And then the other students that were with me all started laughing. They said, "It's Mrs. Young, it's not Phyllis."
I remember looking at her and going, I want to look like her, I want to play like her, I want to be her.
She was a vibrant teacher and she always had very creative, amazing ideas, and that's a lot of what I incorporated into my teaching, which I wouldn't have learned had I not met her through the String Project.
I'd be shocked if people haven't heard the words the University of Texas String Project. And Phyllis Young had a lot to do with that. She went to so many countries.
I one time was in her house and she had put a pin in a global map of every place she had been. It was the globe.
People witnessed her enthusiasm for this program. They were captivated by her approach to teaching and her enthusiasm for learning, and they wanted to come here. They saw that this was something special.
The uniqueness of the university and the program attracts so many people. They take it back to their countries, they take it back to their communities, and they start their own projects. It's huge, it's important, it's valid, and it seems to be building.
I mean, if you think about this program coming into 75 years, hundreds and hundreds of teachers, thousands of students, the ripple effect is, people overuse the word awesome, but the ripple effect of UT String Project is awesome.
The concerts were just stand out in my mind.
There's just this energy. It's kind of indescribable, to be honest.
It was always like this hustle and bustle, and everybody's all excited and getting to actually perform a lot of times, like for the first time for their close friends and family.
One of the things that I think that we instill in this program is that, sharing music is an honor. I know a lot of the parents get nervous when their kids are going to play in a recital. Even the youngest students have something to share.
So they're performing right away, which is why I think it's important to start this young, because then you don't have any fear of performing or fear of performance anxiety or anything, because it's normal.
One thing that String Project does is through passion, through excitement, through fun and humor, it shows you what is possible and that you can do it.
They can get up on the stage and feel comfortable. I love it when they can't wait to get up on the stage, because most adults are like, oh my gosh, I have this recital and I'm so nervous about it. And it's like, no, come on, get up there and show us what you can do.
The minute they walk on stage, you can start beginning to watch their body language. I have a job to do. I'm going to take my cello. I'm going to set it on my stand. I'm going to get the stand right. I'm going to put my music up. All these things, the kid just didn't know that from heredity. You know, those things. Oh, there's the 5-year-old that really had just made a great entrance.
I tell the teachers, when you're watching your student in a recital, you should feel like a grandparent. You should be able to sit there and relax and just know that whatever they do is going to be great.
There's no replacement for a live performance, an interaction with a live audience, and there hopefully never will be, because there's no way you can duplicate that feeling of being in an audience and hearing an ensemble and being an ensemble and knowing that you're doing something that people are loving.
That was a real thrill to have an audience. It was not quite so thrilling to have a little solo to play, because stage fright was then and is now still quite prominent in my own psyche.
Performing live is one of the most nerve-wracking things for a performer to do. And that is true no matter what age you are or what experience you have. But when you are in a welcoming community like String Project, it's always in a safe space. So you know that even if you mess up, it's going to be okay. And having such often performance opportunities makes it so that the kids are getting better at dealing with those nerves, and they're also experiencing that, oh, this time I performed, maybe I made a mistake, but the world kept turning.
I think the students feel edified by their performance because we have established a standard of excellence and mastery that we can say, you can go on the stage for this piece, or we're ready for this. You have mastered this. So when those kids get on stage, they've been prepared to understand that this is my best. There's a sense of relaxation on the stage for these kids. This is something you fear. This is something you look forward to. That's important. And not all programs do that. We always say, once String Project, always String Project. You're part of a community of teachers that is so connected from this experience. It just opens doors.
The UT String Project's reputation is the best. When you say, my child is in the UT String Project, there's an immediate, oh. I teach for UT String Project, oh.
The reason I got my job in the district was because of my time in String Project. Not only just because of the connections that I was able to make in String Project, but also just from my experience and being able to interview for a job and have any idea what I was talking about, and to be able to step into the classroom confidently and know that I knew what I was doing. So, I mean, a lot of that is thanks to my experience here.
If you look at all of the teachers who have gone through this program over the years, you can count off dozens of highly successful pedagogues all over the state, all over the world.
I remember one of the cellists, one of the hotshot cellists in the group, Evangeline Benedetti, played with the New York Philharmonic.
My education as a doctoral student and as a future string educator would not be at all what it is without being a participant in this program.
The String Project has shaped my entire professional life. It has been an honor. I will have more students in my lifetime, but I'll never have better students than I've had. It's fascinating to watch them grow as individuals, as teachers, to take on the persona of a teacher when they're barely out of high school and they're given this responsibility to lead this group of kids. So I watch them grow as people, I watch them grow as friends, as professionals, and leaders. That's really profound for me. That's been probably the highlight of my career as a teacher of teachers. The opportunity to inspire them, to mentor them, to learn from them, to work alongside of them, to create things together. You know, there's no way to quantify it.
The string project and music education in general will always be very important for the world to have.
Programs like the String Project are going to be more and more important. They're going to be not just an enrichment, but they're going to become crucial to like the development of discipline, the ability to fail, the ability to succeed, the ability to appreciate that you can do it as well as I can do it, that the idea of cooperation and happiness in the success of others.
They're instilling a sense of self-worth, a sense of course, community, as I've mentioned before, but individuality. Because I know, and I remember this as a student, I was encouraged to be myself.
Music is part of our being as humans, and it's the access to music instruction and music making is for everybody. So the fact that we're in Austin, Texas, which is known as the live music capital of the world, we're a part of that. You know, we're giving students an opportunity to learn how to be music makers. So I don't see the relevance of that ever going away, because music always has been and always will be. It's part of who we are.
I think that the UT String Project's impact is almost immeasurable.
String Project has made me who I am as a teacher today. I really can't understate how meaningful my time with it has been.
I would not be here today without the UT String Project. No. Again, it's the foundation, it's the canvas. It's the springboard for all of my musical creativity and my success.
Every day I get an email from someone who craves to be in this program.
I don't care if we're going to be rolling around in flying cars. There's going to be a group of people who want to hear Mozart.
I am one in a line of directors of this program. And after I'm not the director anymore, someone else will be the director, and it'll be different, and it'll be great, and it'll keep going. And there'll be more teachers and more ideas and more kids and more parents, and I don't see an end to this.
It has changed the face of string music education in the United States and the world, and I think that it would be time to acknowledge that.
I can see the evolution of this program and the continuation of this program. I see it evolving, and why wouldn't it? I think the reason this program is as good as it is that we're never satisfied with where it is. We're always thinking, how can we make this better? How can we make this different? How can we serve more people? It's an honor and it's exciting to watch this program evolve and grow, and there's no relevance issue here. I don't think it's ever going to be irrelevant to have music and kids and parents and teachers be together, making something great happen.